Today, because we're on location, we're doing things a little bit different, folks.
Hi, this is not a spring chicken. We've got Oldecam over here.
Hi.
And today what we're doing is Oldecam's comments on the headlines of today, but we're doing a little bit different because we have this really cool background today.
Yeah, it's we started a whole brand new series today, which is going to film location sites. We're going to be doing Oldecam from film location sites in Southern California and in Nevada.
Yeah, or in other areas.
Or other areas where we're traveling to. So that's why we don't have access to our computers. This is really a dead zone, folks. So we actually printed out something to read today.
I know, well, and actually, you know, with the sun, it's kind of hard to read this anyway. But you'll get to see. See, normally I'm in back of the camera or on the side when we're doing this.
Yeah.
And Oldecam's just in the front.
And the reason why it's set up like it is because we want that background for the 3D shot. Otherwise, we'd have a better shot of us. But that's why we want us.
Yeah, back there. And there's been a lot of news today in our comments, of course. Hey, yeah, this is true. Well, you know, part of it, maybe we should start off with New York City is basically shut down. Yeah,
I think the 138th Street Bridge for Amtrak out of the city is basically out of action for who knows how long because of a massive fire underneath the bridge.
I know, which means the subways are closed down.
Well, actually, the subways, this is Amtrak, it's not subways. Subways are working, Amtrak isn't. You can't get out of the city north.
Oh.
Only south now.
Well, it's a horrible situation. I don't know how long, but we'll keep you apprised of that one. But also, Obama makes a rare church appearance in Washington.
I mean, you don't think that this guy isn't trying to bring up votes everywhere he can? Because the only time he goes to a church is when he's trying to get people to vote for something, and he's pulling all sorts of crappy things on them. As they have said, those people that didn't think this president would get the message are right, and those people that think that, well, he'll get the message, were wrong because he's doubled down today. They're going to do immigration reform before they leave. They're going to put the bill up before they go on vacation this next week.
And it's all over for the Republicans, as the Democrats admit. They are bad, but do you want to go back to the way things were before we took control?
Let's see, well, you had 5.6% unemployment. People had lots of full-time jobs. People owned houses. You know, there was no $1 trillion+ in stimulus money spent. That's never going to. There was no health care to raise things. There was no rules on businesses to hurt the businesses. So you want to go back to those days, folks? That seems to be a losing message the Democrats have. Do you want to go back to prosperity, or do you want our future, which is doom and gloom?
A redesign of the dollar with guess who replacing Washington?
I mean, isn't
man!
that amazing? That the plan is to replace George Washington with the first black president in our nation's history. Because remember, he was the man that said you're not going to find, my face, what person looks like me on the American currency. Well, and now they're planning to put him on it. They've already drawn up the...
That's a whole separate topic, talking about redesigning the dollar bill.
That ain't going to happen, folks. They're not going to replace Washington with Obama because, I mean, it's just like they were going to put his head on Mount Rushmore, and that went nowhere fast. You think replacing Washington with a president that nobody likes?
Well, actually, part of it is they're talking about we're broke and stop spending the money. So they're creating a new
bill with him on it.
And then they did away with all the other presidents except for Woodrow Wilson.
I know, isn't that something? Who's also a left-wing liberal. Isn't that something? They're going to award, the bills will be, people of historical significance that just all happen to be Democrats.
Oh. And BP ends 5 agonizing months of the Gulf oil spill.
Okay, I hate to tell people this, but I told you 5 months ago how it could have been done. The fact that it wasn't being done was because it basically helped the environmentalists to a point, and then it got out of control, and now the environmentalists are screaming up like bloody murder. There is no bacteria that eats oil.
Well, I mean, here's the part about that just sounds like, excuse me, BS. It's like, oh yeah, Congress is going to election. They're all running for campaigning, right? Yeah. So all of a sudden, it's over. There's no problem. It's all back to normal,
There never was a problem like this. $9 billion is all it costs to clean the mess up, and it's all fixed. I mean, everybody, of course, you got the marshlands that are shot. The oil is sitting on the bottom of the ocean. Fish are dying everywhere, but it was basically because Obama responded in such a timely manner that it was solved real quick.
Reality check. Iran is not a nuclear threat.
That's from the White House, folks. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you talk about. I mean, they wondered this morning. They wondered what in the world are they smoking? Well, they know the president smokes, but they figure he smokes something a little stronger than cigarettes.
Yeah, but they're just working on nuclear power.
Yeah.
For efficiency,
of course. Their nuclear stuff. They don't need all of the centrifuges they have for nuclear power. I mean, okay, you could build a nuclear plant without having centrifuges to process the power. Basically, the plant produces its own power once the rods are in.
Illegal drug use up sharply last year.
Well, yeah, the Democrats are in charge, and they said that I remember that under them it's not going to be illegal much longer. So.
Oh really?
And then
they got to tax it because then they have money to spend for something else.
I know, but they say the problem is they said you have to understand the second reason why it's up so much is the fact that the only way people are getting through is they're drinking and they're using illegal drugs and this stuff. So.
Well, I've always heard that the day marijuana would be legalized was the day they needed it for tax money.
Yeah, but the day it becomes unlegal is the day an airliner crashed into the ground because somebody was on marijuana. They're saying they're trying to equivocate that. I mean, people on Fox News are saying this. Well, it's no different than alcohol. Well, yeah, because alcohol you can catch. Marijuana you can't. You don't have a, I don't think there's a test to see if you're high on marijuana before you fly a plane. Don't think so.
Well, yeah, because you're not supposed to be smoking in it.
That's right.
Okay, Democrats waging military campaigns for Congress.
Well, yeah, basically it's an all-out war, and as of this morning, the New York Times said that the President of the United States has decided to go with Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid with a full frontal attack on the Tea Parties, saying that basically there's nothing more than a front for oil companies and big businesses in Wall Street, and that they're out to destroy this country. Well, they tried that a year ago. And this way Obama doubled down on health care because he knew he couldn't get it passed unless they simply doubled down.
Waves pound Bermuda's Hurricane Igor nears.
Well, yeah, Hurricane Igor. I mean, basically it's a Category 1, which means it's downside, but it's one god-awful. They said it may be one of the largest tropical storms they've ever seen, though.
And why do Americans get the Constitution so wrong?
Well, because they understand the Constitution was written by a bunch of old guys that are irrelevant today, and that the Constitution needs to be reinterpreted for the time period we're in and for the people that are living in this time period.
White House Forbes article that he is an anti-colonialist.
That's right. They said he basically got a huge chip. His father was an anti-colonialist. His father was a socialist. His mother was a socialist. And he basically hates business. I mean, that's anti-colonialism, folks.
Oh, you learn new things every
But he is
day.
pissed off about people calling him. This is a Muslim that wrote it. This is a Democrat that wrote it. And a person that basically knows the economy's screwed.
And NFL calls Jets' conduct toward reporter unprofessional.
It's a locker room full of a whole bunch of guys and a woman basically wearing something she looked like she was poured into with her blouse open.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you expect?
And she didn't file the complaint. Somebody else filed the complaint because all she said was that she was glad to see that American football players, were as hot-blooded as Latino football players were.
Oh, she said that?
Meaning soccer players.
Yeah, but the reporter said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and then
what's wrong with
I know
that?
they were having a good time with her. You go into something basically showing a lot of leg, a lot of butt, and a lot of chest. You're going to get some remarks.
Well, here's the other part: is if you're not getting any remarks, then it's time to go.
Okay, I mean
make
she did news interviews over on Fox, which is conservative, with her chest showing the entire time, and the reporter is trying to figure out, well, how do we do this interview? Yeah.
And Ahmadinejad's challenge to the U.S. The future belongs to Iran.
I know, because you said the United States is no longer a power. The power in the world is Iran, because they can make the world do anything they choose to do. All because of Obama.
Yeah, and you want them to have nuclear power?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, they're going to fire. If Israel doesn't take it out, they will simply fire a nuclear weapon into Israel, and they don't care what the problem is. They figure that Muslims will. Okay, we're busy selling everybody in the Arab world missile defense systems, folks. So anything that is done in retaliation, they can shout out of the sky. The Russians have sold them the best missile defense system they have also.
Yeah, it's not just us selling it to. It's not just Russians. We're selling it
The
to.
whole world is selling them missile defense systems.
guess they're following the money, huh?
Yeah.
Paris Hilton to avoid felony conviction and Vegas arrest.
Well, yeah, she pleaded guilty to a couple of misdemeanor charges, and basically what the problem was, it was stupid to have pled guilty to anything because she's already got she's been served jail time once. This means she's violated the probation from the previous jail time, which means when the person said that she could go to jail for 5 years for this plea.
Why in the world did she do that? I don't even understand.
They said she's got a god-awful bad lawyer.
I mean,
stupidity is what it amounts
she
to.
could have gotten off for, who knows, a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
But, I mean, California's although this is Vegas, California's 3 strikes you're out.
I know, but see, it's still it's a misdemeanor possession charge. But she's been found, she was on probation in California, and she violated a probation over in Nevada.
Which means they could have hauled her in.
They can haul her butt in now and toss her in a jail cell for violation of probation.
Greece's economy is still shrinking faster than expected.
Yeah, okay, nobody is spending any money, which is sort of funny when you figure today that Obama-supported think pad at Cambridge University, just happened to be run by a friend of Obama, said the recession is over, although it is a recession in which nobody is being hired. How can the recession be over if nobody is spending money?
I'm not certain about
Nobody's been able to figure that one out today either.
Of course, and they did talk about going into another recession possibly.
Yeah, they said, though, there is a good possibility that we may be heading into another recession. But this is not Obama solved the Bush recession, though. But this will be the Republicans' recession, not the Bush recession.
And serious concern over fraud at Afghan elections.
Well, since when isn't there serious fraud in a Muslim election? Muslims' idea of democracy is that they order the people to vote a certain way.
I was going to say, I didn't know there was... Hey, we got a train again.
We got a train in the background of this one.
I know, and Lindsay Lohan tweets she failed a court-ordered drug test.
Yeah, well, but she keeps going to these events where they serve lots. And Lindsay Lohan is an alcoholic, and she basically goes to places where they serve alcohol. See the church train? Yeah, so this is a nice little picture.
And the government could see foreign investments for GM.
They're going to sell a GM stock to China. They made that announcement. Isn't that amazing? Now the Chinese government is going to get hold of the automobile company.
I mean, does that like piss you off? I mean, look at all these shareholders from GM. Were they wrestled from it for it to go to union? Now they're going to sell.
Now they're going to sell the company out because
that's like they were doing an IPO to pay that to the government or something.
Yeah, so they're going to give the government like $10 billion and lay off another, because China basically has no need. All they want is the dealership. They don't want the company, they want the dealership. Yeah.
What's China going to do?
Sell.
Oh, they're going to incorporate.
They're going to Chinese cars made in China.
Oh, they put them on Saturday.
Well, they tried to buy Saturday. They got to buy all the stocks in the quarters. And basically, in order for any of the Indian people to keep a job, they're going to have to agree to accept it. Brilliant, isn't it? Obama manages to get the O done anyway.
U.S. homes lost to foreclosure of 25%.
The national bill Obama will tell you that sells are never better.